Right now in Israel, many families are dealing with new challenges, including uncertainty, rising prices, and concern about access to food. For 23 years, Leket Israel has been rescuing healthy, fresh food and delivering it to thousands of people across Israel every week. Over the past 2 years, families who were just getting by are suddenly struggling. Your support from Florida helps real people. Right now, support Leket Israel. Help us provide food for people in need. For more information, Google Leket Israel.
Looking for property management that actually works? Meet Yoni and Sagi at Vacay Mode Management. We're Israeli-owned, tech-savvy, and we're changing the game in Broward. We own properties too, so we know what you need. From Airbnbs to long-term rentals, our full-service team, maintenance, electricians, and operations is in the field every single day. Great prices, no headaches, and you can speak directly with Yoni or Sagi whenever you want. Call us at 754-219-7915. That's 754-219-7915, or visit vacaymodefl.com.
Were you hurt in a car accident? Before you call the insurance company, call Dean. At Dean Levy Injury Law, we know how stressful this time can be. That's why we guide you every step of the way, with honesty, care, and experience to fight for what you deserve. It's hard to know who to trust, but at Dean Levy Injury Law, we treat every client like family. You focus on healing, we will handle the rest. So call me, Dina Ordin, for a free consultation. 888-613-DEAN. 888-613-3326.
רוצים להגדיל את המחירות בעסק שלכם ולהגיע לקהלים חדשים? הגיע הזמן לפרסם ברדיו הישראלי והבלעדי בדרום פלורידה עם פרסום חזק שיחשוף את העסק או השירות שלכם ללקוחות חדשים. לקבלת הצעת פרסום משתלמת במיוחד, חייגו עכשיו לרדיו הישראלי 267-237-2495 267-237-2495.
השכרת רכב רק באפורדבל רנטל קאר, החל $30 על בסיס יומי, שבועי או חודשי. נוחות ושירות רק אצלנו. 954-830-3020. אצלנו תוכלו למצוא את כל סוגי הרכבים, גם פרייבט וגם ונים. אז צרו קשר עוד היום עם ארז. 954-830-3020. מחירים מיוחדים למאזיני הרדיו הישראלי.
התאוב נשלח, יסחף הגסן לה ונשך, יסלח המול, עשוי בי המול, סיגקים ממין חצת, יגבי נוח ונכבד ונשיר, עם מה נגפיר, אמיר גזוק דוויץ, עזוי בי דביסט, עזוי בי דביסט, עזוי בי דשטייסטיקייט, דוויץ, אל תיביסט השתיק דוונן. As I with the leaks, as I with the beast, as I with the stars
מושכת. זה קורה, יש ללכת, שום דבר לא ידוע, לא שנה, לא שבוע, יש לנוע ולחשוב שהייתי יכול לחזור על הכל, אבל בן אדם זה קורה.
זה קרה שהדרך התמשכה לי, זה קרה לא ידעתי איך זה בא לי, שום דבר לא ידוע.
אוקיי, 107.1 FM, 99.9 HD4. כמדי כל יום חמישי, אנחנו עם גילה לידתו. How are you, גילה?
Hi, Nissan. I am so happy to be here today, as always. Thank you.
Great, great, great. How was your week?
Fabulous. How about yours?
Fine. I give you some mission to do with AI. If you have time for me, just do it.
Of course. I told you I'm making time, of course.
Okay, so what are you going to talk about today?
Okay, I am really, really excited for today's segment. Today we are going to talk about AI discoverability and why it is the truly next competitive advantage which is being recommended by AI. And this is an opportunity to be, to have a first movers advantage on this. So few people really understand what this means and how to become actually recommended by AI. And so it's a really exciting time. The work I'm doing with executives and leaders is really shining the light on what a huge opportunity we have here. So I'm really, really excited, and I know that it will be massive for many of our listeners.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, before we really jump in, I want to, take a moment again to acknowledge what is going on in the world and in Israel, and let everybody know that we here at the station are ourselves impacted. We have family in Israel that we love and around the world, and our hearts and thoughts are with everybody. Hope all of your loved ones are safe.
Yeah, I'm going to be this Seder alone. My parents are stuck in Israel. They can't come. It's impossible. They cannot come because they're closing down the airport, and there's nothing we can do now, virtually.
Well, I really hope that, things change and that we're surprised, but if not, we got to talk about you not being alone. That would be terrible. Although you have a beautiful family here, so you're not fully alone. I know it's not what you wanted.
My mom, she's a chef, so
I know.
I miss my mom food.
I know. I had the opportunity to enjoy much of her cooking and have a holiday here with you, and it was fantastic.
Anyway, I have a second mother here, Nava Kosher Kitchen, so I'm taking my food from Nava Kosher Kitchen, and okay, I'm going to be fine in the Chag for food. I hope so.
I'm sure. I'm confident you will. You will. Yeah. So, of course, it's really moments like this that I think reminds us how important it is for ourselves to really be thoughtful in our leadership and clear in our thinking. I mean, times of uncertainty make that really obvious. And so today we're going to really talk about clarity, but in a very different context, as I shared, about showing up and being recommended by AI, which is really cool, and really cool that we have an opportunity to have that first mover's advantage.
Okay, so let's talk about it.
Okay. And we did not do the, quick recap of last week, which is that we talked about reaction as opposed to architecting, and how we can use AI to really architect things. So just a quick recap, most people really are reacting to AI, but the leaders that I'm seeing being the most successful with it are architecting. And a reminder that, a quick task will disappear, but using AI to create infrastructure and systems will really compound, even though there is a little bit more work on the front end, and that AI should really reduce chaos, and not just multiply your output. I am a big proponent of minimizing this hustle culture and using these tools to raise our quality of life, right? Really benefit us, not just get us to, now getting crazier with more tools and things moving faster. So really important to me. Okay, so I'm going to, let you know that, again, today is really about visibility and authority inside the AI systems themselves. Is this something you know anything about yet, Nissan? We haven't talked about it so much, you and I, yet. I don't think we talked about it at all, actually.
I don't remember. So we don't talk about it.
We didn't talk about it yet. Okay, well, you're going to learn something, I'm sure, today. It's really exciting because, it's really interesting what's happening right now, because for like 20 years, we've been competing to be in the search results. But now the competition isn't about the search results. It's about whether intelligence is just going to recommend you in response to a question. And, and what I mean by that, I call it also Google Brain, which is, you go in and say, like, give me the best restaurant near me, right? And it'll just give you a bunch of restaurants. And now we're going into AI, and those of us who really understand it are giving it more context and explaining. Let's say I want a restaurant because I want to take my daughter on a special evening, and so I want it to be relatively quiet so we can talk, but have a hip vibe. You give a lot more than you did with Google. It really changes things. And as it turns out, AI is now starting to recommend people or businesses, when people are asking unrelated questions. So it's very different. You may go in and ask a question, I'm concerned about a diagnosis I got from the doctor, or I want to learn something new. And now AI is starting in response to those questions to actually say, hey, here's a great restaurant if you asked for it, but it's really like even sometimes saying, here's a great chef that you may not be aware of, or here's great content. And so it's really changing the game. And I think that's fascinating.
Yeah, I'm trying to use AI a lot in the last week, and there's some issue that I can put a finger and said, he give me wrong answer all the time, and I start to lose trust in this thing. So maybe something with my setting or something. I don't know.
I'm going to go down this rabbit hole for a minute and digress from what I planned on talking about to say that is definitely something that happens a lot, right? And there are definitely some things you can do to minimize that. It's not going to be foolproof, but if you go and tell AI specifically what you're looking for, to give you verifiable sources when giving you the response, if you tell it that you are not interested in it just giving you fluff, and if you also tell it to let you know what assumptions it makes or what additional information it needs to answer your question accurately, those things will help. So when you prompt it, you should let it know that those are things that are important to you, because it's funny, I ran into a very frustrating issue myself as I've been working on a new project and researching, and AI was going down all of these crazy rabbit holes and not following my instruction, and I was very frustrated. And it's because I don't know about you, Nissan, but when I deal with AI, I tend to expand what I'm talking about. So if I want a very specific output, I will still give it tons of context and tell it, why I want that. And all of that is very important, but I also sometimes then will say, oh, here's a great idea that I'm just throwing in here so I get it out of my head and I know it's logged. And then AI has this tendency to want to expand and go down that other rabbit hole instead of staying clear. So it's better not to get so expansive, because what AI does is it does probabilistic responses. It's not, I know it feels like it's thinking, but it's not really.
It's not thinking at all.
It's not thinking.
Oh my God.
It's doing crazy, calculations as to what would be the response that you would most want, right? And it does all of these crazy calculations in the back, and then it gives you what it thinks will be the answer you're looking for. So as a result of that, when you start layering in different ways of thinking or different topics, or don't make it clear that you really want the real answer, not to make up assumptions without telling you, things like that, it will just give you crazy answers sometimes. So I don't think it's your settings. I think it's just your prompting.
Maybe I demand so many things from AI, and it's called disappoint. It's fine to be disappointed.
It is. But if you narrow your searches, even do those, different things you want in different threads, that also will make a big difference. So just a little tip, tool of the trade. Okay, so back to AI discoverability. So really, for years, if you think about it, the internet really worked in a very simple way, right? You searched, you would get a list of links, and you chose one. But now, AI really works differently than that. You ask a question, and AI synthesizes an answer. So instead of find me a marketing consultant, people are going in and saying how do I grow my business using AI? And AI will then respond. It pulls, all kinds of information from articles, from wherever. And sometimes it will give you examples. Sometimes it will give you experts. Sometimes it will give you companies. So
sometimes it will confuse you.
Sometimes it will confuse you. But the moment AI mentions a name inside an answer, that name becomes the authority inside the user's mind. And that is really, really powerful. So in the AI era, discovery really now happens inside the answer. And that is hugely, hugely powerful. Another thing that's different is it used to be about traffic, right? For decades, businesses competed for website traffic. But now we have a big shift, and it's that websites are slowly really becoming less like storefronts and more really like knowledge libraries for AI. So what I mean by that is AI reads the information. Again, AI will synthesize it, and AI delivers the answer. So websites are increasingly, or those that are understanding this, they are increasingly existing and creating their content to inform AI rather than attract actual visitors. That's a big, big shift. It's like, how social media went from, your friends, who are you related to an interest, right? Search is based on interest. Like it used to be, they would give you things about your friends and family and people you were connected to. Now, more and more, it will give you things that it sees that you're interested in. And this is very similar to that. So just like those of you who may understand that, that shift with social media has really allowed people to expand their reach and network beyond their friends and family just by really being clear on what they're speaking of, because then they get pulled into, being shown to other people who have that interest as opposed to only their circle. Now here, AI is offering a very similar opportunity. So now really the visibility battle, it's not clicks, it's citations, it's references, it's specificity, it's the knowledge that you are providing to the internet, to AI, so that it can then go and recommend you.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so the next thing that I think is really important for people to understand And I know that in marketing, a lot of people struggle with this. They want to think that, oh, you know, I can serve these huge, massive audiences, broad topics. But when it comes to this idea of being recommended as the expert, the difference here is the idea, very similarly, of general expertise versus recognized authority. Because AI has a very specific limitation. It really struggles, actually just like humans, it struggles with ambiguity. So if someone describes themselves very generally, I'm a coach, I'm a speaker, I'm a consultant, AI does not necessarily understand what they actually specialize in. So AI visibility, what it really requires is something, like I was saying, so many professionals are still resisting, which is extreme clarity about what you are an authority in, right? Like, the easier you make it for AI to connect you as the authority, the more quickly you will start to show up in AI searches. So in an AI world, vague expertise disappears. It's really, really critical.
Okay, great. So what are we going to talk about more today, or do we...
What, are you not mind blown? What do you mean? This is huge.
I'm listening. I'm just, waiting.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So anyway, most of the organizations that I'm speaking with these days, they're still thinking about AI in terms of tools. Which tools should we use? Which model should we adopt? You know, and those are really, they're useful questions, but a much more strategic question right now that will have you take advantage of this first mover's advantage that is here and will not be here forever is the question of, is your organization even visible inside the AI systems? And when I sit down with founders and leadership teams, it's one of the first strategic questions that we really start to explore. So I invite anyone with an expertise, with a business, to really take a look at the content that's on your website. If you are a creator, you know, are you making it easy for AI when it searches everything that's out there to understand exactly what questions you answer? Because AI systems really do tend to prioritize clear expertise, structured information, and strong topical authority. The AI systems, they don't reward volume of content anymore. It's actually no longer the quantity. I know there was also that mindset of like, I just need to get more and more out there. But now it's really about the clarity. Because if AI cannot understand what you are an authority in, it just can't recommend you.
So it's impossible to pay AI and it will be like if somebody look for a good restaurant, I'm going to be in the top of the list. It's not options?
I don't know. I mean, I have not reached out to Anthropic or any of the organizations to see if I can pay them. I haven't seen anything. There's no right now, you know, like in Facebook, how you can boost with sponsorship, with paid ads or anything. That is not here yet. I imagine that's coming. But the way that right now, excuse me, the way right now that a restaurant or a teacher or anybody can get themselves shown up is to provide very targeted, clear content on the internet and, you know, really understand and be clear about what problem they solve, what solution they give. This is how today you are going to get pulled into the searches. I imagine that we are moving in the direction that you just stated, which is having the opportunity to pay. But right now, while it's free and still the Wild West, the real opportunity is to be very strategic in what you are putting and to really understand, again, that so much of, you know, your website or whatever presence, digital presence you have is becoming less. I'm not saying it's not important. It's still important, you know, to attract new people, but it's really getting more and more critical to position yourself so that AI can start recommending you.
Great. So I'm sure there's an automatic system that maybe can help AI understand my business better. It's like promote your business in Google.
Well, there are definitely ways in which, on the back end, you can also provide these answers to AI. It's like it used to be search engine optimization. Now we have geo and we have other optimization on the back end. I don't want to get too technical, but that's also one thing that I have been helping businesses and leaders with, and getting that back end. So it's not just, I'm going to put the right content out and answer the right questions, which is very helpful, but there are things on the back end that you can do that get a little more technical that will support that. And like I said, I'm sure that we're, moving towards this idea of being able to pay to position yourself as well.
That's great. And tell me if I can take which tool AI lately you start to use more and more and more, so something we can learn now and actually use it more, because I'm stuck in Grok now.
I know you love Grok. I have been moving away from ChatGPT a little bit and really leaning much more into Claude and to Gemini. I really Google stuff, and I told you Notebook LM, but Notebook LM, which is also a Google product, that's not really so much for searching. It's for taking what you've found, what you've pulled, what you already know you want to use, and then having it really help you find patterns and learn great things from what you already have. But I am really, really these days loving Gemini and Claude, and Grok is great for the real life information it will give you about what people are saying about a certain topic, and it's really cool in that way.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about more things today, or we have something special, more things to talk about today? I'm sorry, I'm not focusing today. Sorry.
You're not focusing, and if I was less secure, I would be getting very, very stressed out about how much value I've created. But I know that this information is huge, so I'm just going to ignore your distraction, because I know you got your head in a different place.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little bit worried about a few things today.
I know. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, the last couple of things that I will leave our listeners with for today is that I am really seeing also a wonderful, I think very exciting opportunity, which is the more AI is becoming expected, right? Like another thing that I've shared with you before is that I have a company that helps businesses respond quickly to clients and return calls and do their bookings, really automate a lot of things so that they can free up their employees to do the things that only their human employees to do the things that only humans can do. The more important and premium it is becoming to work with a human, right? And that I think is so exciting. Also, the more important connecting with people live is becoming. Last week I shared that I had been the featured AI expert at this amazing business summit called Thrive Business Breakthrough Summit. And then today I attended a really beautiful, intimate connection meeting. It was so much more than a networking event. And it was a group of 26 women that came together in the space, and I realized just how important these connections are becoming, and how hungry we are all becoming for that more and more as people are, starting new businesses and operating more on their own. So I actually left that event today so inspired and excited that I am creating my own in-person event. It's going to be Tuesday, March 24th. I'm calling it Elevate, and so I invite our listeners. I will be putting some information on the Facebook page so that we can, again, really, come together and make meaningful connections and just learn from one another and expand our relationships. It's not necessarily, I know many people, grown-ups are like, I don't need more friends, but everybody needs a bigger group of connection, because a bigger network, because I really do believe and see connection is completely currency. So I invite you, March 24th, it's a Tuesday, and more to come. I'll post some information in the Facebook group. So we will kind of leave it with that, which is the real shift isn't the AI tools. I've been saying this for as long as we've been on this show, which is such an honor for me. It's really today becoming about AI discovery, and the leaders really who understand how authority works inside AI systems, they are going to shape who gets recommended and who disappears, and that is so powerful. And
They saw the future.
they saw the future, and it's here, and you have your opportunity to grab it. So as AI becomes more powerful and more connected, the real advantage, really, it won't come from simply using the tools. It's going to come from how clearly we think about them, how intentionally we design the systems around them, and how thoughtfully we lead the changes they create. So if you are integrating AI and want to move from reactive urgency to structural clarity, that is the work that I do with leaders privately and inside organizations, and you can reach me at 561-257-4551, 561-257-4551, or
On the website.
at globalai.com, which is spelled with a W for generating light on the world, or Gila at globalai.com. And remember that AI scales capability, but leadership is what determines what that capability builds. And I am so honored, as always, to be here with everybody. We encourage and invite you to let us know what specific topic is of interest, but I am planning on having another few segments going deeper on this idea of becoming discovered through AI, recommended by AI, because I think it's a really powerful opportunity for our listeners, and I want to set you all up to win.
Great. Gila Liadato, thank you very much.
Thank you, Nissan.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Next time, the same hours, the same day, next week.
Next week, yes.
Yeah, hope so to get good news from the people in Israel.
I hope so too, and I am going to let everybody know also we are making Voices of Impact weekly. That is to come. I think we're landing on Tuesdays at 5:35 p.m., but we will let you know for sure. So we have some incredible people and organizations making a huge impact for Jewish people and for Israel, and I'm really excited.
I'm excited also. We're gonna meet new people, that's for sure.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Gila.
Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
בבן גלמה פלם ביץ' שבבויטון ביץ' התלמידים לומדים בקהילה חמה וללא שכר לימוד, עם כיתות קטנות וסטנדרטים אקדמיים גבוהים, כולל תוכנית מחוננים מלאה ולימודי עברית מהיום הראשון. כאן עברית היא לא רק מקצוע, היא דרך חיים. לצד לימודים ברמה גבוהה ולמידת סטם חווייתית ומעשית, התלמידים מתחברים לעומק לשפה העברית, לתרבות הישראלית ולערכים שמלווים אותה